I'm doing all right.
Good.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Happy to hear that.
I'm getting to the point where I'm kind of ready to be winding up Dark Souls 2.
Yeah.
I'm just like looking at like
Are you? I can't even imagine why.
we're like
It's not like it's been an
175
extremely
hours into this, and
it's not as if it's been an extremely long journey.
it's
That
it's so funny because I was looking at my. Actually, let's introduce this and then I'll talk about this. Here we go. Here we go. Hi everyone, and welcome back to You've got a friend
well,
in Majula. It's a Dark Souls 2
good news.
Let's
Wait.
Play. Wait.
Oh,
What?
sorry. I thought you were gonna stop there. You're not sharing the screen with me.
Oh, I'm not sharing the screen with you. Okay, then we're gonna stop right there. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna pretend that never happened. We're gonna send this over to Trevor. I keep forgetting to do that. I keep being like, no. I see the little thing in the Dark Souls thing in the bottom of the screen. It means it's shared over to you, but it's not. It doesn't mean it until I click the button.
It
You're
is
getting that
tricky.
now, right? Yeah.
I am getting it now.
Okay,
Perfect.
so let's start this. Let's say hi to people. No, I totally forgot to share it with Em the other day, and Em was like, "You need to share the video with me." And I was just like, "No, we're doing it, text parser style. I'm just gonna read it to you.
We're doing it blind. This is
Yeah.
gonna be a blind run.
It'll be great." So let's say hi. Hi everyone, and welcome back to another You've Got a Friend in Majula. It's me, one of your friends, and I'm here with Derby, another one of your friends, and that other voice you can hear is your third friend, Trevor Strunk. Trevor, say hi.
Hi, Derby. Hi, Dia. Hi, everyone. So happy to be here with my friends.
It's true. It's a good time to be here with friends. You know who's not our friend?
There's so many options. Who is
El
it?
Caballero del Humo.
Oh, it's so
Yeah,
true.
El Caballero del Humo is not our friend.
Is knight in Spanish caballero?
Yeah, that's how you would
Oh,
translate
okay.
it.
I
Anyway.
always thought it was like I thought it was more strictly cowboy, but I guess that makes sense. I don't know why I thought that. Doesn't make any sense that it would be cowboy.
Well, they're both related to like terms for cavalry, basically.
Oh, so helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Because knights have horses is basically the way to remember it.
Okay. Yeah, no, that totally makes sense.
Back when horses were very expensive.
They're not expensive now though. They're very cheap now.
I mean, they're cheaper. They're a lot cheaper than they used to be. It used to
Well,
be
that's true.
swords and horses were very expensive. Now they're not.
It's a funny thing to say that swords and horses aren't expensive, thinking about going out and buying like a sword. It's very it's a very intimidating thought.
I mean, the thing is,
But
like, you can go and you can get a very expensive horse, or you can get like a shit horse that's dirt cheap. Like you can do that. A lot of the girls that were like a lot of the sisters of the lads I went to school with, they all had horses, and they weren't exactly like nice horses or expensive horses. They were kind of cheap horses, and they brought them with them to college.
okay.
Yeah, because they all went to Sweet Prior, where you could stable your fucking horse.
I mean, you have to have a place where you can stable your horse.
It's literally the selling point is you can take your horse here. Like it's not like it's one of their massive selling points. Sweet
It makes
Prior
sense.
is-
I think that would probably sell a lot of people on it if they loved horses a lot.
yeah, you love your horse.
Who doesn't love a horse?
Yeah.
I've never ridden actually. I've like maybe once or twice, like in a we're just like we're out and about, like we're in some place and an activity for this group is riding a horse. I've done that, but never really out of desire.
Yeah, I didn't take to horses. No, didn't take to them.
Scary creatures in a lot of ways.
I mean, like I'm friends with horses, but it was just kind of like, you know what? I don't need to get up. I don't feel the need to get up to mount you. Like I think we're good here. I'll stay on the ground with you, and like if you just kind of here, I'm gonna put my thumb in your mouth. I'm gonna brush your teeth, dude. Chill. Don't eat my thumb.
For a second, the way you said that, I thought you said I'm friends with horse, which is a really great way to say that you like horses.
I am friends with horse.
I'm
Yes.
friends with horse.
Friends
I am
with
friends
horse.
with horse.
Um,
Well, I am pleased that you are friends with horse. Yeah, I'm not happy about this Fume Knight, Dia.
No.
I have to tell you. I find him churlish, and frustrating.
Well, and you know what his deal is. Like ultimately, he got his ass kicked by um Vendrick's other buddy.
Oh,
Um,
not Aldia.
no.
The Mirror Knight?
Yes. Velstadt, the Royal Aegis. And
Yeah,
these
yeah, yeah.
two, son of a bitch.
That's not what we wanted to have happen.
No, it's not what I wanted to have happen at all. Okay, that was way too early. I gotta figure out his fucking, like, swing times and, like, shit. Like, that time, that was fine. Oh, that time wasn't.
Yeah, they have the secret extra swing.
Because, like,
Now,
yeah,
are
like,
we gonna try and do this, or are we gonna unhollow and see if anyone's around?
I mean, I was gonna try and do it a little bit. Like, I'm just like, you know.
Yeah, no, I'm down with that.
I am
just
not.
I feel bad for you in this one. I feel like this is
just
sapping you in an unfair way.
It's just like, I mean, like, the Fume Knight, like, you know, to my credit, like, you know, I don't like the fights where, like, the dudes have, like, really, really, like, can punish you just like in multiple different zones. Like, this guy can get you, you know, in every distance, basically.
Yes.
There's
There's no way to really like cheese the Fume Knight in any way, and not that like you have to cheese anything to win, but like it's nice to know someone like a character is not vulnerable in one, or like is vulnerable in one way, can't hurt you in one way.
bitch. Ah, my mistake. Dodged way too early and way too in the wrong direction.
Ooh, that was a beautiful dodge. It's ridiculous that he can just backhand slash you with his offhand. I refuse to believe anyone's that strong.
Yeah, no, it's and like this is the guy. So he the Fume Knight, as we will come to learn, was the left hand of Vendrick.
Of course.
Yeah, and with Velstadt, the Royal Aegis is the right hand. Fume Knight is Velstadt's is Vendrick's left hand. And at some point, him and Velstadt, he had like a falling out. Didn't stop believing in the mission that Vendrick had put forth, and was like, "I'm out. I'm not doing this shit anymore." And Velstadt just like beat his ass down, just completely just wrecked his ass, and sent him packing.
It's interesting because the Fume Knight is correct in this way. Like Vendrick's whole mission is awful.
Yeah.
Like it's just funny to sort of like end up being on the wrong side of history that way.
But so he came here, looking for Narnia, who is a shard of Manus, like Nishandra, and so on and so forth. Thanks, camera. I really loved that.
Oh my god, that was awful.
It really was.
Now, is the character's name really Narnia? Is
No.
that okay? Okay, good.
But-
I listen. Would I put it completely past Miyazaki? No.
But they all have Na as part of their name.
Yes.
Because why not?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we all love a matching name idea.
But so he was like, I don't want to. I'm gonna go pledge myself to like this dark bitch and become one with the Black Fog, and that's why he's the Fume Knight, which is like
Okay.
in Japanese it I guess it translates more literally as like the night of smoke.
Right. Okay.
But fume sounds cooler.
I mean, it sounds really cool in English.
Oh,
Yeah.
son of a bitch.
Also, Smoke Knight doesn't really explain who he is very
No.
well in an
God,
American
fuck
context
you
or an English
dick.
context.
Ah, son of a bitch. Well, that's okay. It could have been a lot worse.
Yes, it could have. Oh, here comes this.
Oh, son of a bitch. Thought I could get far enough away. Nope.
There is no far enough away.
There is. It does.
Oh, there
have
is really.
Yeah, you can get out of range.
Oh,
of
I thought it was arena wide. Okay.
No. You can definitely get away from it. It's very far. I thought it was far enough though.
Hmm.
Okay, that wasn't so bad. That was sloppy.
No,
but-
that was pretty good though. I mean, honestly, you got him down pretty far.
Yeah, there's some sloppy bits, but
I'll forgive that.
like I'm the comes down to it. I am not a 25-year-old action gamer anymore, and I have not been for 15 years.
I think it's pretty good not to be a 25-year-old action gamer.
Like ultimately,
I mean,
I think that is the way to be.
it's okay to be that way if that's who you are, but I also think it's like perfectly valid not to be.
Yeah.
And probably good at a certain point not to be that.
Son of a bitch.
Ugh.
I'm just like I'm
Ah.
swinging. The problem is I'm dodging when I should, based on what I'm being what is being swung at me, but not based on like what is actually like the game is interpreting. And that is something
Right,
that I have
right.
a very difficult time. That's why I don't really play like I never played competitive fighting games ever. Like because it was just like the like the logic behind hitboxes versus what I'm actually looking at, my brain cannot square it. It just does not work for me.
And that's perfectly reasonable. I mean, this is why like pixel perfect dodging in any game is just like beyond me. Like,
Yeah.
I can't do that. It's not something that
Yeah.
fits in my brain.
That's why I'm really looking forward to there's at least 2 bosses in Dark Souls 3 that I'm really looking forward to. Because much like the Fume Knight,
Okay.
they're like, what if the Fume Knight had really, really, really like, massive HP bars for like all 3 phases? Because by the way, at post Bloodborne, everything is 3 phases.
Wow, that sounds awful. I don't know why you're looking forward to
Not
that,
everything
but-
is 3 phases, but like so many things are 3 phases. Oh, son of a bitch. That's the other thing is like I have a complete inability to judge like the length of things. So that really works against me in these games. I mean that's why like for the most part I did not take to 3D platformers.
Right.
Um,
Well, and that's the issue with 3D platformers in general is like even if you have perfect spatial recognition, the game's recognition and the game's idea of like what depth is not always the same as a human's.
That's why one of the few 3D platformers I ever did really well with was Metroid Prime. Because they figured out if you make it so that when you jump and you slightly tilt forward and look down, you make it so that the camera pans a little bit down and forward. It makes it a lot easier for people to figure out where they're jumping.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true.
That's why, like, I'm always slightly at a pitch forward angle playing Destiny 2, which, kind of
Makes
gives you,
sense.
which gives you a headache a lot. But
Well, so does Destiny 2, so it's
yeah,
okay.
no,
Um,
I like the Destiny 2. It's a good time.
Destiny 2 is nice. I guess like for me, it's funny that like it's funny that they haven't that like feeling of like what can we do to make this work better really kind of ended with Metroid Prime. Like, I guess there's stuff in Elden Ring that makes like the platforming better for what it is, but all it is an excuse to do more platforming, which no one wanted. No matter how much they now say they did want it.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, come on. Oh.
It's dodged it way too fast.
That often is like the hardest thing to dodge at speed when it's not like bop 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 and triple tap.
Yeah, and he's got like, he doesn't have like a ton of moves, but he's got enough variety in his combos that like.
Right. You don't always know what he's gonna do.
No. Son of a bitch.
Ugh. That shouldn't have hit you.
That should have.
Yeah,
that was my
that's
fault.
perfectly fair, but you shouldn't have been hit by that one before it. That was ridiculous.
Not the insolent armor. All right, let's take a look and see who's out here.
The insolent armor. The armor I wear when I'm mad at the Fume Knight.
Okay, well there's that.
Oh.
No
No
homies.
friends.
No homies. I want real people homies.
Yeah. Oh. How about this little king?
The Zweihander and the stamina shield.
And the crown.
Oh yeah, the crown. Yeah, really
Classic
no
build.
one. Yeah.
Oh well. It was worth a try.
I have Iron Flesh.
Now I guess the question becomes: are you going to summon your friends?
Oh wait, there's one.
Oh, oh, oh! Yes, yes, yes!
Cucumber.
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 I like how I said that, not even thinking. Like, cucumber, what's that? It's like, oh no, now I get it. It's a very good name.
Cucumber. Oh, cucumber with the Havel and the damn.
Okay, yeah. I like cucumber a lot. Okay, this rocks.
What up, cucumber?
Okay.
Let's go for it. Get out of here. We're dealing with this bullshit. I think the other thing is like you can't stagger the Fume Knight. I'm pretty sure. Like I don't think he's got like any stagger ability. So like the benefit of the big sword kind of goes out the window with him.
It does. Ooh, I love Cucumber's sword. It's really cool. Thanks.
Hey, cucumber. Cucumber, what you doing, my guy?
This is not helpful. Cucumber, you're kind of playing scared here. I don't like that. Cucumber is absolutely tanking, which is kind of useful, I guess.
The problem is he doesn't like.
Yeah, it's not like he's taking aggro.
Yeah. Oh, son of a bitch. Cucumber, you're gonna die if you don't drink.
This isn't good, Cucumber. You're not that strong. That shield does not protect you fully. Okay, Cucumber drank.
Cucumber, get away.
Not so. Cucumber might not be as good as we thought. I'm a little worried that maybe we put too much.
Okay, no, we got this.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. This is good. We got this. This is fine. Oh god. Okay. All right. It's fine. It's fine.
Son of a bitch! No! Quick, Cucumber, smash him a whole bunch.
Oh man.
Man, that was my fault.
No. I mean,
No,
it
that was my
it's
fault.
What happens?
I was just like, I'm just gonna run into him, and I thought Cucumber was gonna stay on Cucumber, but he didn't. He turned around and went right for me.
Maybe Cucumber will come back and help us again.
Maybe Cucumber will come back and help us again. Maybe Cucumber will come back and try and hold aggro or attack more. Cucumber will come back and do something.
Yeah, Cucumber was fine, but not exactly what we needed.
No,
I feel like
Cucumber
needed.
rules. We just all have different expectations of what we want.
We might have too similar a build ultimately. Too chunky. A fast build, a magic build would have been cool.
It's really like these are not bosses that are meant to be tanked. Like this is really where we can start seeing the beginning of the Bloodborne ethos coming into play.
Right, you gotta memorize the fight essentially.
I don't know. I don't know if you can parry the Fume Knight. I'm just thinking. I'm like, not that Cucumber is a parry build because you cannot parry with the Havel shield.
Yeah. You can just block.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's a good question. You're switching things up.
Yeah, just looking at the different armor that I have. I couldn't even really remember what I have.
I mean, that's fair. We have a lot.
We have a lot from the DLC that I was just kind of like, what even is like a lot of this stuff real heavy.
We should consider using the anti-Fume Knight armor.
Anti-Fume Knight armor. Okay, wait, there we go.
Feel like that would be a good idea. Okay.
Tyrone the Second. Damn it.
Okay.
No, Tyrone the Second disappeared. I was too slow. That's okay, because that means guys, there's
Cucumber.
Cucumber. Cucumber's
Maybe
back.
Cucumber's putting down his sign again.
Maybe Cucumber's putting down his sign again. Maybe Tyrone the Second will come back.
I like Tyrone the Second.
Tyrone the
I
Second.
wish he would.
Or Tyrone 2.
Come back.
Who's 2 can say?
It could just be Tyrone 2. Yeah, this is the sequel to Tyrone. I have a good feeling about our chances of getting help tonight. I really do.
Yeah, no, it's a Thursday night. People are rowdy. People want to get some Dark Souls on.
It's Thirsty Thursday. It's what they do over at the college campuses these days.
God.
They hop on and they do PvP on Dark Souls. I guess PvE as well.
I mean,
Let's
the
not
thing is, we
pigeonhole them.
do have to ask ourselves if after Dark Souls 3, if we decide to do Derby takes Elden Ring.
Oh wow. I don't know if I can. I feel like inflicting that on you is like something that I should stop you from doing as a friend.
It's funny because it's one of those things where I'm like, maybe this is how I end up actually enjoying it, but like we'll see how I feel after we get through Dark Souls 3.
Yeah.
You know?
Come on.
Come on,
Summon
come on.
sign.
Come on, Tyrone the second. Actually, we either want Tyrone the second to come back real fast or not real fast. I don't know which is better.
Why is that?
Well, because if it's real fast, maybe Tyrone sucks.
Oh yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, good point. I didn't even think of why he wouldn't be there.
Or if it's real fast, maybe he's just real good.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe he's just like maybe he's like full on let me solo her, but you know. But for the
we
Fume
could
Night,
only be so lucky.
yeah. But yeah, the Fume Night.
I feel like the Fume Night is a good. It's a very good representation of why people get exhausted with this game, the Fume Night. Having the Fume Night this late, like everyone knows the Fume Night's hard, but like just having the Fume Night be the barrier at the end of the DLC is such a like
Thugga. Thugga.
Let's go.
Let's go Thugga.
I have all the faith in the world.
I have so much faith in Thugga.
Yes.
Thugga.
Ooh,
What is your build? Thugga.
Jester hat.
Yes, Thugga. This is gonna be great.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Let's go Thugga. We are.
Let's get this done.
We're gonna get there. Thugga is gonna get killed by that guy on the way in. Watch.
It could happen.
I love when that happens. It always makes me so happy, just because it's really funny.
Oh yeah. No. I feel like if you have a decent sense of humor as the person summoned too,
you have to. Like, the thing is with Dark Souls is like you cannot get super serious about it.
Oh yeah. Wow. Thugga is fencing with the Fume Night.
I mean, that's kind of how you got to do it, though. Oh shit! Sorry, Thugga. That was a failure for you, from you. Like you're out here just dancing with this motherfucker.
Incredible watch.
Son of a bitch.
Oof. Thugga brought crystals along. Okay.
Man, Thugga, you dodged that shit point blank.
Thugga absolutely living up to the promise of their name.
Yeah.
I say as they get like absolutely smoked. Just one time though.
No, Thugga is about that life.
Yep. Oh my god. That's some incredible dodging. This is what a quality build is. Like, ultimately, if you're gonna do a quality build, you have to be like that. Oh no!
Oh, son of a bitch. Oh my god!
That was really close.
Quick thugga kill him.
This is gonna happen tonight.
Oh
This
my
is gonna happen
god, that
tonight.
was such bullshit.
Yes, that really was.
That was my fault. I got super greedy when I was like, no, I could take him. No. That's okay. We got this. Oh, here's Tyrone the second.
Get him.
Oh, failed. Or maybe Thugga will come back. That's what we really want. We really want Thugga.
Thugga is excellent.
It's okay. It's happening. It's happening. We're doing this tonight. We're gonna get some bros. We're gonna roll up on Fume night.
I believe in us so much.
Vamos a matar al caballero de humo. Like that's what's gonna happen.
That's right.
Tyrone got picked up fast though. Either that or Tyrone was like, nah.
It's one or the other. Oh, Thugga. I really liked working with him. That was fun.
Thugga.
That was very fun.
It is fun just like watching like a Dex build just fucking do ballet on a motherfucker and just
Absolutely.
just absolutely just like no hit all these guys, like, you know, every attack in a row. Like they don't do a lot of damage. It's hard to, you know, hard to do a lot of damage with a rapier on a fully armored knight, but you know, they get it done eventually. But yeah, no, I'm just
Chill. We're
chilling,
good.
chilling.
We got this.
Yeah.
This is how it works. This is how we have to do it. You know, it's all about. Oh, what is that? No, that's not someone. Sorry, I thought that was a different one.
Oh, yeah, no, that's.
I'm preaching chilling, and immediately I'm just like, just go.
Dive on that sign. Yeah. No, it's funny because it can feel that way sometimes. I'm really curious to see how Dark Souls 3 on the PC holds up. In terms
Do you
of,
think a lot of people are still playing that?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think Dark
I feel
Souls
like there's
3.
there's like a cult feeling about this game that is not there for 3.
No, 3 was like what was there until, you know, Elden Ring came out, and now Elden Ring is just like, well, that's the new From Software game, and Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 1, those are like, you know, oh well, DS1, the original is the best one, or, you know, Dark Souls 2 is like the weird cult hit. But like, I don't think that I'm suspecting that Dark Souls 3 probably doesn't have a lot of activity on it, and I'll be curious to see how that plays out when we get there. You know, what is Dark Souls 3 in 2023? Who can say?
We're gonna find out though.
We will eventually.
Once we beat a Caballero de Fumo.
The Fumo.
the smoking knight.
The smoking knight.
Unintentional, excellent addition to the lore here.
God. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. I'm not wasting this fucking humanity.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say we gotta. I was the other day just like, oh wait. Yes,
Tyrone is second. Let's see it.
Let's go. Yeah, the other day I was actually thinking unbidden about how funny it was when we went into that hallway. That neither of us we were just running through and oh, this is an interesting guy.
Yeah, Tyrone is neat because Tyrone's got that weird ass helmet that I don't remember what that is, and then he's got like this like kind of, you know, like this like medium shield.
Is that a ladle or?
No, that's the craftsman's hammer.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Isn't the craftsman's hammer pretty pretty beastly
The Craftsman's hammer is kind of dope. Like I don't like the move set compared to the mace, but it hits a ton harder from what I remember.
Mhm.
Like the Craftsman hammer is no fucking joke. Oh shit. Fine, fuck it. You know what? Look at that. I put lightning on the goddamn sword. I don't give a shit. It didn't do more damage. It didn't do less damage.
It looks cool. That's the thing. Wow. I like Tyrone.
Yeah, me too. The Craftsman's hammer, and like, he's, you know, for this it's good because he also gets the strike damage, which on a knight, strike damage is everything.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Tyrone, back up. Oh, wow, Tyrone, you canceled out the, like, that animation on that shit. Wild.
That's wild. I didn't know you could do that.
I didn't either.
Feeling this is not Tyrone's first time fighting the Fume Knight.
Fuck you, Fume
Yes!
Knight. We did it.
Let's go.
Tyrone.
Fume Knight.
Tyrone.
Fume Knight hesitated and lost.
Tyrone
Oh, this
the
rules.
second.
I
Shout out
love
to Tyrone the second.
this. Yes,
Shout
absolutely.
out to Tyrone the second, who is
Oh, so
the hero
cool.
of us all.
So cool.
Tyrone, you can do back shots whenever you want. Yeah, I said it. What?
It's like, no,
Oh.
listen, I'm.
Oh, this shit.
Oh boy, what are we looking at here?
We are looking at some shit right here.
This is some sort of Ash Bride.
This, the crown of the old Iron King.
Would you look at that?
Yeah.
That's what we were looking for.
A faint heat lingers in the ancient crown.
Oh, fair
Wow.
enough.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Fine work. Thanks. Shout out to Tyrone.
Oh yeah, Tyrone. Indeed. Ooh, 63,000 souls.
Yeah.
Shout out to an extra point of vid or something.
Use return to the last bonfire. There we go. Triumph. Triumph thanks to Tyrone.
That rules. That's such a good feeling. Like I was starting to hate the sight of that damned knight.
I mean,
And like I knew we could do it, but it just like that kind of like,
it's
so like I really. Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
go ahead.
no. Like before we started up, I was like, I'm gonna go and just like watch a video of someone. Like someone's got to be out there, having fought, you know, like roughly the same build. You know, just strength, great sword, mano a mano with the Fume Knight, and like, I watched it and like, they were all pretty long videos, and basically it's just like, you know, you don't get the big hits, you don't ever get the staggers, you don't, you know. Like, it's just not a fight set up for
This build.
No, and like, you know, I really do believe that the greatsword should do strike damage.
I agree.
I'm sorry, I think it should.
No,
do strike damage.
I
It's
completely
slash and
agree.
Thrust, it should be slash and strike. If you, IMO. I know.
I don't really
is only
understand
from,
why it's not. It's so heavy.
It's yeah, like I get it. Like you know, it's the Guts sword, and Guts has a habit of cutting things off of people. But I feel like when Guts cuts things off of people with the Dragon Slayer sword, it's really much more because he has just powered through far more than it is a cutting action.
I knew you'd be.
Mm-hmm.
But
No, that
why
makes
did I
a ton
come
of
over
sense,
here? I
actually.
don't know why I came over there.
Don't waste my
I was just
time.
like, why am I over
Don't
here?
waste my time.
Yeah, sorry, bud. I don't mean to waste your time or my time. Come on, up you go. On
Bearer
your
of the
feet.
until
See what we can get out of 63,000 souls. We can get a
I'm
point.
very excited.
We can
Yeah.
get we can get 5 hit points.
That is the worst deal of all time.
50 is really where you get diminishing returns. We can get 1 stamina.
It's better
We can get
than.
a pound and a half of equip load. We can get a second slot of attunement.
Okay.
Which is that's honestly probably one of the most useful ones. We could get
It
that
might be
gets up
nice
to
to have
600 strength
Ooh.
or 600
That,
weapon damage, which I think I might do just because I think
that's
that's
very
fun.
pleasing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like
it's very
that.
pleasing. It's 2002 hit points. Yeah, I think that's
No,
the right
that's
answer.
just pleasant. That's very cool.
Yeah, yeah, that's the way. Now
I
we
think
gotta.
one of the things about the Fume Night is that like, so I really do like those I really do enjoy those battles where it's like you have to learn it and stuff. Those do kind of like tickle my brain in a fun way sometimes. Um and like it's probably like a big part of the reason you and I have differing opinions on Elden Ring, and that's fine. But like I also think there's a point at which you get extreme diminishing returns when the fight's too hard, and it's just like at the point where you're just like maybe I should just quit instead of fighting this guy. Like maybe this game isn't good enough to keep me here. I think that's where you that's sort of at the moment of the Fume Night just before, where it's like I don't know if I'm getting anything out of this, and like when you start asking that question, that means it's a badly designed boss. And
Yeah,
I realize that's a bit maybe mean or maybe like extreme, but I don't know. Like I get that feeling with the bosses that are just like memorize the move set and do them. When they get to be that level of difficult, where the punishment is that harsh, it's like, you know, that works in Sekiro because of how Sekiro is built. This is not built like Sekiro.
yeah. No, I agree. I mean, for me, it always comes down to it's the same problem I have with Final Fantasy 14. Is
Mm-hmm.
um like okay, uh, I have you want me to prove um that I've understood something through perfection, not just through understanding. And I
Right.
think, like, especially like, with the more recent, the longer Final Fantasy 14 goes on, the more Yoshida adds, you know, more mechanics that don't look the same as other mechanics, but like, you know,
Right.
like the idea is like it's like, oh look, I'm confusing you, and it's like, okay, well that's great, but then you can't make it so that you miss one and you raid wipe.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's absolutely right. And like I think that's like Final Fantasy 14 is a really interesting example because like,
I'm glad.
you know, how funny Yoshida slander is notwithstanding. Uh the the way that he has gone back, or the team has gone back and like made old raid or old dungeon mechanics look like the current ones. Like the tank buster now looks like the tank buster in, you know, it's that red circle now in old dungeons, and it's like, you know, that's smart because it should always look the same. Like if you're learning as the game goes on, you should be like learning on the same stuff that you'll see later on in the game. But like that's a good impulse. The bad impulse that just like seems to be there with it is, yeah, let's just like let's do that, but also add
always
new
here.
ones that people are never going to memorize, or like they're only going to be for hardcore raiders, or like, you know, they're going to be like they'll be new to this raid and maybe I'll bring them up later. Like at a certain point you have to standardize and say like, here's the rule set. And I think there's something about the Fume Knight in that like he has the swift sword and the big sword. And you're like, okay, well I understand the drawbacks and the benefits of this, and it's just like, no, he just
I'm
gets
glad.
both. He gets to do everything.
Yeah,
The rules change. The rules just shift in order to make it really hard for you. And it's like that's
Be
not
safe.
all that interesting.
oh, is that the max for the pirates
Yes.
flame? Yeah, okay.
Wait. Where are you?
Oh no.
Why are you
Yes.
coughing?
I finally tracked down my teacher,
Just got the croup.
but I've decided to keep at it alone. I need to see what I can achieve by myself. Master
you.
Carillion and I are from Malphia to the south, a land lush with sorcery and pyromancy. Master Carillion polished his art at one of our renowned magic academies. But he argued that the academies were terrible places to learn magic. This quite angered Master Glocken, my previous teacher. Once Master Carillion
Glockenspiel.
spoke excitedly of this land. He made talk of the remnants of some great power and the deep abyss that surrounds it. I tried to ask more, but he didn't seem to hear.
It kind of explains why he's interested in
I'll never be good enough, will
Old
I?
Iron King. Why his summon signs down
It
there
was a
then.
perilous trek across the mountains.
Yeah, because the remnants of the
I
deep
faced
abyss,
the most
like
frightful things.
that's Manos. That's the fragments
Yeah.
of Manos.
The number of times I nearly died. I finally tracked down. I
Okay.
need be
okay.
safe.
Yeah, no, he's clearly interested in the abyss and what
What's
he
left
can,
of the Old Iron King and all that. Yeah, exactly.
which we now have the crown of. So let's see, we got the crown of the Sunken King, which is the king that erected the eternal sanctum below the earth to worship the great dragon. And then we have the crown of the Old Iron King. Crown of the Old Iron King who once ruled this land. The king sunk below the scorching iron, met the one whose name must never be repeated, and became Icarus Earth. But these were events of long ago, and today no one even remembers the king's name. So he met the one whose name must never be repeated. Voldemort.
That's right.
I don't
Do
like.
we think?
Go ahead.
Oh god. No, I was gonna say, do we think that's Manos?
I like that's the only thing I can think of, but I don't know. Like it can't be. It can't be Manos. Like
Yeah, that would be a little strange.
I think it's weird because so like one of the interesting things here is that the reason we know we are in the future, right? Like we are. Drangleic is very out of time. However, we know we're in the future from Dark Souls 1 because Manos wasn't fragments until the cursed undead went into the past and did what Artorias could not and wrecked the
Right.
shit out of Manos and broke him into fragments. Which is the coolest thing. Like that is like one of the coolest things. Like once you get into like the whole shards of Manos, it's like, oh wait, okay, so there is progression from Dark Souls 1, and like there are like little hints here and there of things that have happened since Dark Souls 1.
So explain the Shards of Manos thing, because I think I'm missing something here. Where have we picked up Shards of Manos?
No, well, I mean, in a way we have because we've got shards of Manos. We have the soul of Natalia, Bride of Ash.
Okay, right.
Oh, we have the soul of Fume Knight. Let's actually read this. This is important.
Yeah, that'll be a cool one.
Soul of the Fume Knight that guards the dungeon of Broom Tower. Raimi was a distinguished knight who became infatuated with the Bride of Ash and settled in this land of smoke and fog. The wondrous soul of this knight can be used to accumulate numerous souls or create something of great worth.
The wondrous soul. That's
Yeah,
really
well,
interesting
it's-
the
I
way
mean,
they
it's-
describe it.
It's a wondrous soul. So I mean, we get a lot of souls for that one, I guess, is the deal there. We can turn that into the Fume Ultra Greatsword. I'm not going to because I don't care. It's not worth
Okay.
it. Like it's not worth it. Like the Fugs is it's an interesting sword. It is fun to use. It's a good time. I think you can get that. You can either get the Ultra Greatsword or you can get his little stabby sword.
Right. Well, that makes sense. Sure.
Like the
It's
thing,
a build for everyone.
the thing about the Fume Ultra Greatsword is that it has higher AR than the Greatsword, but it takes so much more stamina from what I remember.
Okay. Which really, I mean, that does kind of that hurts it a little
like
bit.
one of the cool things about it is it has such high stability that you can viably use it as a shield.
That rocks.
Like you can block
That's
with
the
that shit, and it's
best.
pretty good. It doesn't have a horizontal swing. Is like the one big like
Ooh,
vulnerability.
I don't love that. Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, and it's but it does have like pretty high base AR, and I don't remember what the scaling is, but let's see. Let me like look up this real fast. Yeah, we get it from Orin Effect. It's 25,000 souls is the thing. It's like it's just not. Like I'm not gonna. I wouldn't use it. Okay, so here's the text of it. The Ultra Greatsword, forward from the soul, the Fume Knight. The exile swordsman Raimi had the ability to expunge the black fog, but chose to live alongside it, in the company of the child of dark that haunts his sword.
Ooh,
And so
that's
we know,
interesting.
like, you know, what we can put together here is Soul of Nadalia. That's who we found down there. That's who was at the bottom. He was defending Nadalia's corpse, basically.
Right.
So the Soul of Nadalia, bride of Ash, who renounced her flesh and wandered Broom Tower. When Nadalia came to this land, the king she sought was no longer there. Dispirited, she forsook her own soul and clung to the heirlooms of the old king. This is only a fragment of a soul and cannot be used in this state, so we still need more of Nadalia. We're not done. Despite the fact that we did all that, we're not done with fucking that fucking zone yet.
Sorry, you can never finish
We can
Nadalia.
never finish. But let's see. Did we read the Crown of the Old Iron King? Oh yeah. So this is he's sunk down below. So this is you know, what does this helm look like? Actually, let's see. What does it say? Yeah. It's got some decent dark and poison resistance.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Look like.
It's not. None of these helmets. Ooh, you look like a cool king, though.
Yeah. It's my paladin hat.
Yeah, let's get back to this.
Yeah, we're going back to it.
Come on, absolutely.
Yeah, no, it's homie Vindar.
Let's not be silly.
Vingarl's our homie. It's how we stay. You see, Rocket the Vingarl helm. But
So explain to me a little bit more about the Monos shards.
okay, so basically, we killed Mono. Okay.
Yes.
Artorias was supposed to go back, and he was Artorias. He went off to Ulasil
Right.
to go down into the abyss to fight Monos, who was like the Lord of the Abyss, basically. Like Monos is like the kind of, he's the Gwyn of the dark, basically.
Okay. Right.
Probably
yeah,
probably the best way
That
to think of
totally
it.
charts. Yeah. Okay.
Let me see if there's actually see if there's any like text for Monos.
Soul of Monos.
Because it's been a while since we.
Yeah. Let me see.
So Monos, Dark Souls, Father of the Abyss. Do we get any text from Monos from his soul? Okay, Manu. Yeah, I know.
Here, I got it.
No, go ahead.
Soul of Manas, Father of the Abyss. This extraordinary soul is a viscous, lukewarm lump of gentle humanity. Ancient Manus was once clearly human, but he became the Father of the Abyss after his humanity went wild, eternally seeking his precious broken pendant.
So yeah,
And
so
then if you make the catalyst, let's see. There's what's the note on that? There's not much. It just actually talks about how it's similar to another catalyst. So
that's pretty good. So, but
Okay.
the Abyss is. It is, it's where the dark is. It's where all humanity kind of pools in the Abyss. Anyway, where we were there. I made a joke earlier today about how I've lost so many Papermate Flare pens, which are the king among pens, in my opinion.
The finest pen. No,
Yeah,
no, of course.
That
I
is
mean,
that
this
is the pen I use. The pen I use is
you and my wife agree on this, actually.
the
She is very protective of them. The children cannot touch them.
no, paper made flares are the champion of pens, and they're just a cheap felt tip pen. Is the thing, is you can get 12 of them for $5 in a box, and they come
sure
in,
are good, though.
They come in good colors, and the good friend Janine Hawkins said, it was like the problem with flares is that the tips wear down, and I was like, yes, but I've lost too many. I lose them before that can happen, and I've just lost so many over the years. They just disappear. So I'm constantly buying more, and they just disappear, and I don't know where they go. They go to the same place with socks and lighters.
I always like when TV shows posit places that socks have gone. I found that was a fun little thing that cartoons did in the 90s.
There was something, I remember there was a cartoon at some point where it was it showed the other side of the dryer, and there were there were monsters that were using chopsticks to sort that were
Yes.
pulling apart the socks from the laundry.
I have this memory as well. I'm glad I'm not the only one, because that was I feel like that was constant, and I feel like that's the one I remember the most.
I can't remember if it was a Matt Groening cartoon or a Callahan or something, or Waterson. I don't remember who it was, but
it could have even. I mean, honestly, it could have even been a Nickelodeon kind of thing from that era. They get a little weird.
Someone did an illustration of weird old gods behind the washing machines using chopsticks to sort out the socks.
And that's where your felt tip pens have gone.
That's where my felt tip pens have gone. But my felt tip pens were gonna. When I died, I was going to go to the place. I was going to go to the abyss, and the felt tip pens would kind of gather around me, the way the humanity sprites are in the abyss in Dark Souls 1. That's just how it was going to be for me.
That's so beautiful, though.
Yeah. But I don't remember where we were going with that.
Oh, we were talking about the Manos.
Shards. So Manos.
Yeah.
But so we Artorias failed. Artorias was corrupted by the abyss, so we had to put down Artorias. And then we had to go, and then we had to put down Manos, not Manos.
Manos. I always want to say, but his hands are so big. Of course, he's Manos.
Mr. Hands.
He's Mr.
Hands. We have to go put down.
God,
we have to go put down Manos, and maybe let's go to the Smelter Throne. Maybe that's where we need to go next.
Cool.
But so we put him down, and in killing him, kind of broke him apart. And so then these shards. Oh, some shit happened there.
Oh, God, yeah, no, that's something. All right, wait. So finish telling me about the shards, and then go.
So the shards.
That's gonna be
shards,
something.
The shards of Manos then became. They had sentience. They had intelligence. They had sapience, and they took on a life of their own, and they became these Milfanito. And so I guess some of the Milfanito were just stronger than others, is the deal, and those became Nishandra and Alana and Nidalia, and they went off in search of kind of establishing stuff. What are you going to do? If you're,
Yeah. That's really
Shard
interesting.
of Manos become, go seek power.
And where do you pull that from in terms of the text? Obviously, I believe it and all. I'm just wondering where
a lot of
where
it's
that was.
from the souls that we've eaten along the way.
Yeah. I guess that's true. There's a lot of discussions of the abyss and the shadow, especially with Nishandra.
Yeah, Nishandra. Whenever you see Child of Dark ultimately can be read as a shard of Manos.
Child of Manos. Yeah. You're right. Interesting.
Okay, we're gonna do this thing. What's this?
Ooh, cutscene. Let's go.
Cutscene, bitches. Let's do it. So we kind of substantiated into this armor. What is that doing?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Oh, we're in the memory of the old Iron King.
Oh, and there's a summon.
And there's Drifter Swordsman Adol.
He's chilling out in the memory of the
And
old Iron
Steel
King.
Willed Lori.
Okay, we know where we
Yeah,
are.
we know what's up.
We
Sorry,
know
but
what
we're,
this
we're
is.
bringing these bros with us. Try head.
Let's bring the band back.
Okay, what up? Oh, Steel Willed Lori, you are all tanked out now. What up?
Yeah, you're back. You're back to the old you.
All right, let's go, y'all. Everyone has basically said that Drifter Swordsman Adol is a
Adol.
reference to Adol. Yeah, like it's basically
Okay.
like no one.
I buy it.
Oh, what is this? What is this shit?
Whoa, whoa.
Well, that went down fast though. What is that?
It's a.
Oh, it's an
a
Alon
very
Knight.
Oh.
These are like Alon Knights from like when they were
These are-
real. Oh.
Yeah, these are like the OG.
Oh,
Alon
what the
Knights.
shit, bro?
Oh God,
Shit.
that's not what you want.
Holy shit, that was amazing.
Yikes. Yikes.
I forgot the
Yo.
Anon Knights were like fucking ninja sword wielding, like, you know.
Yeah, they're the katana wielders. They like who brought that back? It was like it was like some knight that Vendrick met.
Yeah.
Who came to the land and was like, "Oh, I
Well,
have this great
it was Sir Alon, was it not?
Oh, right, it was Sir Alon.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Sir Alon was from the east and wielded the katana, correct?
This asshole
Yeah,
is
you
not
can.
letting me kill him.
Can't hit him.
I hit him like once or twice, it would seem.
I don't know if you did that or if your friends did that. A lot of Alon Knights.
Yeah, they're just coming out of the fucking walls, man.
This is intense. This rules.
Human effigies.
Let's
Love
go.
that.
We've used up too many of them. We need them back.
What?
What do we got going
Oh.
on here? Revenge. Yes.
For revenge. Okay, we're gonna.
I would have been like, I would have absolutely implored you to write that if someone hadn't already.
I'm gonna message visions of the concept.
Revenge? Yeah, I would think
Yeah.
so.
We just love revenge.
Yeah, we're playing a Dark Souls game. We gotta love revenge.
It's true. Fucking rusted coins at this late stage of the game.
No, no, it's good. We want them.
No, you
right?
gotta love it. You gotta respect. Fuck you, buddy.
I love these these old school. I mean, that's a weird way of saying it, but like the kind of like old pre-collapse Alon Knights. They're really cool.
Yeah, no, that's. So good.
Take that.
I saw you over here, buddy. Oh, he's a fancy
Oh
Alon Knight.
boy. He's got
Damn.
the lightning sword.
Yeah. Wow, he had a
not messing
lightning sword.
around.
He had kind of like weird ass armor. Oh, fuck this shit.
Oh no.
Yeah.
This is go behind and kill it from there.
Fuck you, buddy.
All right, don't fall down there. Well, maybe you can.
Boss ahead.
Boston, a memory?
Hole
Okay,
ahead.
wait a. Boss hole ahead.
Boss hole ahead. Good luck. God.
Beware
Alright.
boss hole, and yet hurrah for boss hole.
Despair ahead. Oh, what is this? This is not a boss. This is bullshit.
That's an abattoir, baby.
Yeah, what is this, like, blood drain? This sucks.
It's not my favorite.
It's really funny because, like, I'm looking at, like, you know, this grading, and the grate, like, is such a, you know, old school, like, SNES, like action RPG, like, motif.
No, you're right.
You know?
It really is. Like it's like baby's first
Like, it's such a TurboGrafx
dual...
16, you know.
Oh, absolutely. Cuz all it is it's like it's the first way that you can get verticality
Yeah.
in a game.
Exactly.
You can drop below the chains and you can see it. It's transparent enough that you get the hint.
Yeah,
you don't have
you
to
gotta
like...
see it. Yeah. Well, our homies are doing pretty well. They seem to be holding up.
Yeah.
Oh,
this
there's
is not them
boss.
versus the Fume Knight. They're doing a great job.
Tough enemy. Be wary of loss of stamina. Therefore, good luck. Interesting.
Uh-oh. I don't like that. Do you remember who this is?
I think it's Sarah Lon.
Oh, well, that would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it?
Pretty sure. Yeah, Sarah Lon. Oh, man.
Yeah,
Look at this.
Whoa.
Look at this zone. And look at this fucking.
rules. Whoa.
Yeah, look at this motherfucker.
No, how does no one cite this as a
I don't know.
as a thing for Sekiro? This is Sekiro. Like that's just the owl to me. Whoa. This is really cool.
Ah, son of a bitch.
Oh, man.
I like that Sarah Lon's got the YSL pattern armor.
He does. You're right.
He totally does. That's good armor. Like, you can see, like...
Man. I wonder if we're going to have to... Do you think that, like... Well, no. No. I mean, do you think that the enemies will eventually die off?
Oh, yeah.
Even though it's a memory?
Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
it's still a zone, just like any other. And like that is a thing. Like I'm perfectly content running this to kill off the guy, so we just get a straight shot at the boss. Like that's no problem to me.
Sure, yeah. And I mean, it kind of just ends up being the same. You know, kill the guys to get a straight shot on the boss, get to the boss and give it another try.
Yeah.
The boss's health is like brutal with the
Yeah.
friends, unfortunately.
Oh, son of a bitch! I didn't realize
They
how
don't
low my
mess
health
around.
was. Yeah, no, they take that health off, and they're armored despite their speed.
Once again, they're breaking the rules, but I can appreciate them breaking the rules on this because it's cool.
Like,
It looks neat.
yeah, like that's the thing. Like it's cool, and like honestly, this boss run isn't that.
Oh,
Like you could just
no.
run to the boss and it would be fine. Like you wouldn't.
There's
have to,
so much worse ones.
Yeah. I do like that this takes place in a memory. I think that's neat. Especially because like it's interesting because like that means the rest of what we've been doing didn't take place in a memory.
Right. Right. Which is like, it's a cool. I mean, that's like absolutely a weird kind of ambiguity that's there with like, are these DLCs actually taking place in the world of Drangleic or not?
Yeah.
And this seems to confirm that yes, indeed. Like, strange as they may be, they are in the real world of Drangleic.
Mm-hmm. You know what's interesting to me? And
What's that?
I think this is the. I know in my heart, it is the correct move. That's interesting. They dropped crack red eye orbs.
Oh, that's
which are
weird.
the PvP item.
Yeah, I wonder why that's the case.
Yeah,
I would assume they would have been like blue. Like
Yeah.
they seem like the cops of the world, but maybe not.
Yeah, that's interesting. But we never go to Melfia. We never go to any of the places that are populated, really.
Right.
And like, so we just have them. We have other people at their word that they even exist.
That's true. That's a very good point. Yeah, it's definitely like, if indeed Melfia is real, we believe it because someone was like, I came from there. But to us, like, it may as well be like, you may as well be saying like, I came from the Shire.
Mm. It's just interesting to me, like, someplace like, a game like Ease or any of the Final Fantasies, you see a proper noun, you're gonna encounter it, right?
Right.
The standard JRPG thing is, you see a noun, the noun is gonna come up. But here it doesn't. Like you might encounter it, you might never encounter it. It doesn't. Good luck, like figuring out.
That is definitely, that's absolutely one of like the best parts about Dark Souls, and one of the reasons that it has the kind of like appeal that people always try and like talk about but can't really like explain, because like it just names places and then has really no concern with you actually going there or not. Like,
Yeah.
it's its agenda. If it wants to show you it will. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
And like,
Whereas like even in good.
I'm absolutely fascinated by like Melfia and like some of the other places they've mentioned, like where the priests are from. I can't remember the name.
Yeah, I can't either, but I know what you're talking about. Oh god. Yeah, I can't remember.
But like, these are places that I'm deeply like fascinated about, and we never go to them. We never get really anything more about them, and that's just cool.
Yeah, it's really neat. I think I like, like even like, we mention it a lot, but like even Final Fantasy 14, like they mention places and then you're like, well, in some expansion we're gonna get to see that, and it's usually a pretty safe bet. Whereas in this, like, there's never gonna be like a Melfia thing. Elder Scrolls is the same way. It's not like you can be like, oh yeah, like I guess next we're gonna see this continent or whatever. Like, we just never will.
Which is really funny because now that we have the MMO, we do.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of the interesting things about the MMO. Like, ooh, Black Steel Katana. That promise has been broken now.
Which promise is that? The Dark Souls MMO?
Yeah, that Elden Ring was never going to show, or Elder Scrolls was never going to show us, elsewhere. Right. And then we got the MMO, and they were like, well, you know what? We can do elsewhere.
Yeah. It's one of those things where you're just like, oh, sweet. And then you're like, well, I don't know. Like, maybe the elsewhere I was imagining was better. It's the Tolkien problem, where, like, a lot of the stuff that's so gripping about, like, stuff in the Silmarillion or whatever is because you don't get a lot of it. Like it's a little mysterious.
Yeah. Those Silmarillion kind of slaps. Not gonna lie. There's some
No,
good
no,
shit
I
in
think
here.
it does, and I think it slaps because it's like brief,
Twin
like
blade.
because there's not. Well, it's not brief, but like the
I know what you mean.
it's. I mean, there's like the what it describes. It doesn't go into detail on everything. You have to kind of like accept it as an intentionally fragmented sort of history. Whereas I think if it was like Tolkien wrote books on all of these things, eventually be like, okay, like I don't care anymore.
No, that's like.
It's the oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say it's like that's the thing I have like my big beef with like what's his face like being like I'm gonna finish my dad's work and it's just like.
Oh, Brian Herbert.
You're
Oh, the Tolkien kid.
Tolkien,
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Christopher.
Oh God, yeah.
But like I really appreciated that like okay well sometimes like we've lost things over the year like over the centuries we don't know how to make woot steel and we don't have all the Grecian dramas
Yep.
and like that's just that.
And if anyone's gonna know that, it's gonna be your dad, not your Dia's dad, but but Christopher Tolkien's dad, who was like a classic scholar, like someone who cares a lot about Old English drama and like poetry is going to know, like, yeah, some stuff is just fragments.
And like that's the
Some
thing,
stuff doesn't come back.
yeah, like, that's why there's the Silmarillion even like doesn't come even close to having kind of a
Right.
full history, and it's not chronologically presented or anything like that. It's just
Yeah, to argue that that's not intentional would be like very strange to me.
I forgot this bitch just bleed because he's got a katana.
Stance
Oh,
broken.
I
Oh
forgot he does this.
no!
Yeah,
Yow!
yeah. No, he is no. Sir Alon is no fucking joke.
This guy is absolutely going to give us fits,
You need
and
to
that's
shout
okay.
out to the mirroring on his marble floor.
Yes. Oh
which is
no,
just
the
gorgeous.
shout out to the soundtrack too, which is like pristine in my mind. Beautiful. Absolutely works.
Yeah, no, it's. I think that's that is one of the things that I do like about some of the other Dark Souls games versus like Bloodborne, and even Elden Ring to a degree. Elden Ring's got some nice arenas, but Bloodborne there is kind of a crisp, like it's there's still some preserved arenas. Like.
Mhm.
It's not all just like kind of just trash and,
Right,
and
yeah.
vile the way Bloodborne is. I wonder if there's anyone here that's like a cool bro. I'm gonna bring Adel in to just help make this clearing of this stuff faster.
Good idea. I don't think that's a bad call at all.
No,
Actually,
just
makes a
think-
ton of
because
sense.
sometimes I think it's fun. And it makes it just makes it a little bit faster for us.
It is fun.
I like their little ninja steps. They've got little ninja steps.
They learned from Milan.
Yeah, no, they've got their little they do the little ninja steps in their big Western armor.
It's a really neat, like, it's a cool like marriage of like Eastern and Western, which like is not an uncommon thing in these games, of course. Like the question of like, oh, like, what does it mean when like East and West meet? That's like the whole point of Naya or whatever. But like, it's like this is such a neat way of doing it, where it's like, yeah, we're gonna do we're always gonna do the regular armor, but they're going to have different moves because someone taught them differently.
Mm-hmm.
So cool.
Oh, fuck you, buddy. Come out of nowhere on me. Yeah, Adel, where were you?
Steel Willed Lori. Absolutely clutch. Unbelievable.
Yeah, Steel with Lori get. Wait, what's Steel with Lori?
Where's she going? That's not clutch. Stop it.
I was trying to see what sword Steel with Lori is even using. Steel with Lori is using some kind of weird great sword that I'm not familiar with.
Is it a great sword? It looked a little thin.
I think it's a great sword.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's long.
It's not an ultra great sword, but it's a great sword.
No, and it's not a Zweihander. I don't think anyway.
No, it's not. Steel with Lori, you don't need to drink then. I really love just how bullshit their damage is. Like they do
it's
such
like
bullshit damage. It's amazing.
Well, but then they just like hit so often that like at a certain point they're doing a lot and then it goes down to a little. I don't get it at all. It really is wonderful.
They have very poorly optimized builds.
Yeah, absolutely. This is why we need real NPCs.
Like, yeah.
I.e. real people.
You guys coming down or what? Come on. Come
They're
on.
too scared.
Hey, y'all, come out here. Meet my friends, Steelwood Lori and Drifter Swordsman Adel. All these black steel katanas just kicking around.
Yes. Yes. Perfect.
Really good. I wonder if he's gonna run up, or is he gonna try and shoot from down there? Okay, bud. Sure. There we go. All right, fuck it. Let's go and see.
Let's see what we all can do against Suralon. Steel-willed Lori.
Thought he was facing the other way. He was not.
He
Oh,
tricked
son
the
of a
hell out
bitch.
of you.
Yeah, no, he fucking really got me there.
This guy is it's crafty. You still do decent damage on him.
Yeah. Well, he's not as heavily armored as the Fume Knight.
No.
You know, he's got like the thankfully
Ooh.
his ninja armor is like medium armor. So we can actually do some damage despite the fact that we've got two other summons with us that aren't doing shit. God, he's so just fucking
He's such a cool character. I really like this guy rocks. And I love how the fight like is reminiscent of that last fight in I mean second to last fight I guess in Demon Souls against the King.
Oh yeah.
Really similar and like echoey of that. Well, let's see how that goes.
I actually have to hit him for it to make.
That is tricky.
God damn, bro.
Oh, no,
You're just,
man.
like, just moving around like a fucking maniac. Well, we almost got him to 50%.
That's, I mean, listen, I'm impressed.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Oh,
I
brutal.
thought he was busy
Brutal.
with them, and I was just like, I'm just gonna, while he's doing that, I'm gonna sit here and figure out which healing item he used. And he was like, no, motherfucker, I'm
knew.
gonna come
He
right
knew.
at you.
It's
Oh
like,
my god,
oh,
he fucking knew.
I see what you're doing.
He knew so intensely that, like, I was sitting there like a jackass, just waiting to get my ass handed to me. That was beautiful.
I really like this boss a lot.
It's such a good boss. God. Like, I don't even mind getting wrecked by him because he's such a good boss. But also, he feels fairer than the Fume Knight. Like, he
No, there is, like, yeah, it feels like if you just, like, if you paid enough attention, you could knock him down.
Yeah.
Like, you can beat him with this build, for instance. Like, it doesn't feel like you have to be fast or have, like, strike or whatever. It's like, you can just beat him with this build.
Like I feel like he's a much more considered build.
Yeah, this seems like something they put a lot of time into. Fume Knight just seems like, let's make the biggest, toughest jerk we can. There's also something so cool about this being, like, in the past, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's something like, you know, seeing the tarnished stuff is cool, and there's a real, you know, aesthetic to Ruin and all. Like, it is like, it's fascinating to see, like, what the world would have looked like not in a time of, like, total chaos and ruin.
Yeah.
Which, like, we don't actually really get even in the other flashbacks, because they're always flashbacks to war. Or often. I don't know always, but...
I mean, often enough, I think, to make that assessment.
Mm-hmm. Yes, get him.
I do love that, like, they all do this, like, fucking Yaido, like, step swing, like, you know, unsheathing their sword in the attack. Like, it's just so cool, especially because, like, they are in, like, the Vendrick armor that, like, we're used to, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Especially that last guy who's got, like, the kind of... We've seen that armor so many times on Hollow.
Oh, yeah, he looks like a Tower Knight, too. Like, he just looks like... Yeah.
Like, it's just good shit. But it's funny because, like, I think, like, you know, one of the things I was thinking about, like, is, you know, part of my feeling kind of like, I'm ready to move on from Dark Souls 2 because, like, I feel like I know what Dark Souls 2 is offering me now.
Yeah.
And, like,
yeah.
I like it, but, like, at the same time, I'm like, I'm kind of, you know, Dark Souls 3 was a game that I beat within, like, a couple of weeks of it launching, and then basically being done with it and having a really low opinion of it.
Right.
Whereas Dark Souls 2 is a game that, like, you know, I haven't played the DLC very much or the second half of the game because I kind of come back to it, play the first half, enjoy it, and then kind of go, yeah, I got my fill. Um, wow, I can't believe that's hitting me from down there. That's wild.
That sucks.
That's just bullshit, but also it's kind of funny.
No, but I hear what you're saying, and like, there's something, I don't know, there's something kind of refreshing about this area in that, like, I feel like it's kind of saying something new, whereas the area with the depths and the fume night, as cool as it was, it's like, yeah, okay, like, I know this, right? Like, I get this. This is kind of what we're used to in this game, and now we're just kind of doing the new game plus-y part of it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, all of this extremely reminds me of Ease. Like, which is funny because, like, you know, of course, like, we're summoning, you know, Adol for all of this. But, like, so much of it just reminds me, just, like, even, like, the level design of, like, it just all reminds me of just Ease so much. Even, like, down to the grates and everything.
I can see it. I mean, I'm not as versed on Ease, but I can see it.
Son of a bitch.
Oh,
he's so fast.
He's much squishier.
So fast, and he's so cool, and his no dachi fucking rules.
Honestly, this just reminds me how much I liked Sekiro. I really liked Sekiro a lot. I know that's like not everyone's feeling on it, but I really did enjoy it. And like, I feel like FromSoft just has like a really good sense of like what a cool katana should look like.
Sekiro was incredibly difficult for me because I just like my hands just aren't what they used to be. Like they're not.
Yeah. No, and I have heard that. I've heard that about Sekiro, that it's just like the rhythmy elements and the fast tap. It's frustrating.
Like I unbelievably, like, I absolutely love Sekiro, and like the faults of Sekiro I'm perfectly fine placing on my deficiencies. You know, because like what Sekiro wants to do. Because like I have no problem with Neo. Like I can play Neo just fine. Like
Right.
Neo gets me like, you know, 60% of the way to Sekiro without having to, like, you know, break my hands the way Sekiro really, if played correctly.
Right. And I mean Sekiro really, like, it honestly, like, for a long time I was on the it's kind of like a Souls game. It still is, but like it really is more like a rhythm game than a Souls game in some ways. Like the way that you have to get the rhythm, like, of the blocks right. It feels more like, okay, I'm doing a thing where I'm mastering like a particular sort of beat more than I am like strategizing a battle.
No, and like it's interesting because like it's not even a Tenchu, and like I was kind of like going into Sekiro very much expecting a Tenchu.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's not Tenchu.
No,
it's not Dark Souls. It's not Neo. It's Sekiro, and it's
it's its own thing.
It's very interesting, and like I really respect it for that. And it's honestly, I would probably say that it's one of the best From Software games like ever. Like I'm perfectly content being like, it's a game I played once and beat once, and I will only probably ever play it and beat it once, because it's so painful or like physically difficult for me to play.
But it also just like tells such a clear story. Like it has its own story, and unlike, you know, it's a plus of the Souls games that you can tell a different story with it. You can be like, well, this is this story of Soul, like me playing Dark Souls is the story of like this version of Derby, or like, you know, you can really role play it. It's a different kind of thing, but like it's neat to see FromSoft say like, no, this is the point of view and the story we're telling. Like, this is what you get, and this is the tale of like Sekiro. That's that. Like I don't know. I think it was just so successful in that way.
No, it's really good, and I just really just enjoyed like I want to go back to Sekiro because I want to spend more time photographing it. But like it's so frustrating for me to play just with the limits of my hands, and so I haven't. And like I know I could like probably play it on like the PC and mod the hell out of it it's like, you know, I'm sure by now there's like a no threat enemy mod or something like that, or
Yeah,
bosses
yeah.
just stand still. But like, you know, I'm happy to have had that experience, and like, you know, I got the photos from it that I did. I wrote the essays of it that I did. You know, I'm glad I put in all of the effort to I can't remember his name now, the trainer.
Oh, yeah. What's his name? The monk.
The sword
no,
trainer,
owl.
who can't die.
Oh,
Until you finally like basically free him from his little weird caterpillar thing.
yes. No, I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name though.
I can't either. I feel bad about, but I can't remember his name. It's been so long at this point. Which is funny to think that it's been long at this point, but
It has.
it has. It's been a while. But like writing that piece was really like kind of like my final nail in the coffin for like me playing Sekiro, and I was like really happy about it, and I was fine to like kind of let Sekiro go to rest for me.
Yeah. Well, and like there's something about Sekiro as a project that encourages it to be put to rest at a certain point. Like you can be done with Sekiro. You can stop.
Yeah, and that's the thing I like. The thing I like about Sekiro, as far as like its story goes, is that there's no room for like interpretation. Really, wow, buddy, you just came at me with some dark shit.
Yeah, that's brutal. Ouch.
Okay,
Dried
like,
fingers with multiple knuckles.
we'll do like one more run of this, and then like,
All
I
right.
think that's probably
Yeah,
good.
Makes good sense.
Yeah, but like, I Sekiro would probably be like one of my top 10 games of all time if like I had the hands for it. Because I don't have the hand for it, it's not.
Well, yeah, that certainly makes sense. It's maybe the most it's probably the most uncompromising From game, at least of like the current era, and like that means that it is like also just like it will gatekeep in that way, in a way that even like, you know, it is uncomfortable for people who, you know, don't have like the hands they used to play. It's and that's a shame, but it also kind of, it's like, yeah, I guess that is what it is.
And like it was funny because like writing the piece I did about God, Trauma Boy.
Yeah, I'm gonna look him up.
That I couldn't write. I can and I'll you know what? Fuck it. It's my podcast. I'll link the piece that I wrote for Paste about it.
You absolutely should.
In the description, because I'm really proud of that piece. It was like one of the pieces for Paste that I'm like really proud of.
Actually, there's an easier way to do this. I'm going to look up the Paste Sekiro.
It's two pieces. One of them is about photo mode.
Hanbei the Undying.
Hanbei, that's right. I couldn't. I was like, for some reason, like my brain was like not looking for Hanbei. But Hanbei was really interesting because specifically my hands were just like were so struggling. By the time I was doing his mission, to like really kind of do his story all the way through, it was really difficult for my hands.
I bet. I could only imagine, yeah.
And I was like, I got to the end of it, and I was just so happy because I was just like, I really liked this character, and I wanted to. It was like one of the few times in a From Software game where I was like, no matter how difficult it is, I'm going to finish it because I really care about. I'm invested in this character in such like a, so many different ways. Like I'm like narratively invested in him. I'm kind of like emotionally invested, but then like I'm also just the way in which games are like game narratives are constructed. I am interested in Hanbei. Because he's a really interesting character.
Yeah.
And if you haven't
Well,
played
and I mean,
Neo, you should give it a chance.
I need to play Neo. I enjoyed the first bit of it, and then I just kind of like I lost track of time or whatever. But I did enjoy it. Maybe I'll pick it up again. I think I picked my weapons wrong because I picked the ones that I thought were cool. And like in most games, if you think a weapon is cool, that's great. But it might not be useful, and then you'll think it's less cool very quickly.
My favorite fight was honestly, it's funny. Like, my favorite fight was like the first real boss.
Okay, I know that boss.
Yeah, is the guy on the horse, and I can't remember his name, but Gyobu. But I kept because when I was fighting him for the first time, I was fighting him with Sarah in the room, and at the time we had been rewatching Monty Python's Flying Circus on Netflix.
Okay.
And so I kept doing his voice in the and I had it set to English voice acting.
Okay. Yeah.
And I had so I had him, and he goes, "My name is Gyobu Onegashimasu." And I kept doing it, and the the weirdos that like the Monty Python did, where they like tied the napkins around their head, and they had their pants really high. I can't remember their names of the characters, but like they were just terribly offensive. But I kept
so
all I
funny.
could think, all either of us could think of was like those guys, while like Gyobu was doing his like little monologue, and we'd be like, "My name is Gyobu Onegashimasu." And it was just the funniest shit. And like finally I beat him when I was first playing it, and I was just like, this is just so ridiculous. God, this fight is like fucking proto what's her face.
Oh yeah. Let me solo her, lady.
No, not even her. Before her in Bloodborne. Oh god, what's her name? In the DLC.
Oh, I'm thinking of all men in the DLC.
She's the one who is she's the prototype for Lady Maria. Lady Maria.
Oh,
the actual
yeah,
clock
okay.
tower.
I know who you mean.
Lady
Yeah.
Maria's got a lot more magic shit going on, but I'm just curious. I want to do one more run. I want to restore my humanity here to see if anyone shows up, just because they could.
Hey, why not?
Because we've got, okay, so after this, after Sir Alon, I'm pretty sure Sir Alon is like the last of this DLC. And so then we have the Ilium Lois DLC, which is the next of the final DLC of Dark Souls 2. And
There really is a lot of DLC. They were not kidding when they said there was a lot of DLC.
so much DLC. It's so funny because, like, Dark Souls 1's DLC is actually pretty impressive. Like, if like Dark Souls 1 DLC is like, if that's all the DLC you get, like, that's fine. Oh, I didn't realize there's no Dachi on the ground here. Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet. That's sick.
That's such a sick weapon. I just love the idea of like, what if a katana but the handle was super long?
Surely there's some reason for this.
Like it's just. I fell down a hole today and I just started reading about all kinds of like steel folding and shit. I don't know why. I just did. Like I was just like, I'm gonna read these articles about the way in which steel is created throughout history, and it was really interesting, actually. Um,
I can't say I know anything about it, but I now I'm sort of interested in learning more.
yeah, no, it was pretty cool, and like I knew like about like Damascus steel and the rolled steel of um. Hey, Drifter Swordsman Nadal with your hello.
Oh.
Really gonna pull him and not pull Adol at this point. I'm curious if anyone's gonna drop their soul. There's before we get to the final boss. I'm not like trying to do the boss run this time, but you know, I do the boss run every time.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's what it's there for.
But I think these are interesting because they don't really make sense here. You know,
The you're not wrong.
like they're very clearly just like, you know, level design decisions and not narrative or thematic decisions. And that's fine. Like I'm totally fine with that. Like I grew up on Mario games, you know.
Yeah, sometimes you have an enemy in there because they're cool.
Yeah.
There's not like
And like you want
swamps make a level better, but I don't have
yeah,
to know
you,
why
you
they're
want
there.
an element that's like okay. Um you know, you want a ranged you know, elemental damage enemy. Okay, that's fine. I'm
Yeah.
fine with that. Like that makes sense to me. I just, you know, I made a room that had fire gouts in it.
In
Um,
your recent dungeon
in my
mastering?
dungeon 23 dungeon, yeah. I was just like,
Yeah.
what if this room just had panels where you step on them and fire comes up?
Sounds cool to me.
Yeah, it sounds sick as hell. Um, you know, have the players, you know, roll a percentile dice. That's fine. Whatever. I don't care. Figure it out. Um, or do it as a punishment. I don't know, like however you want to do it. Like that's fine. But like,
I love do it as a punishment.
it's really funny because like the approach I've had, like there's like ways in which I would like do a dungeon if it was, you know, like an actual kind of published dungeon or something like that. And then there's the ways I've done it with like the dungeon 20 for dungeon 23, and it's entirely just been like, you know, yeah, like if you want like you run it, roll a percentile dice, whatever. I don't care.
I love that. I can't ever really figure out the balance between punishment and reward. Like, I mean, this is why, like, I've never really considered being like doing dungeon master stuff. But like, even within design, it's like it's tough for me to imagine. Like, okay, what's the benefit of forcing them down a particular path? What's the benefit of letting them explore? Are they going to get bored because they're not coming up with the answer? Are they gonna? It's tricky. So I think being willing to kind of like just be free with it is pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because like, you know, doing dungeon 23, one of the things I've realized um, is that even like looking like because I've been ultimately what I've kept in mind while I've been doing it is um, basic Dungeons and Dragons, specifically Mulvey, not Holmes, because that's what I grew up on. I grew up on Mulvey, and you know, that's just like the kind of like the Dungeons and Dragons that I grew up on. I liked AD&D, but ultimately, if I had my choices, I think I would probably stick with like like BX, Mulve BX, and um, I would just kind of house rule. If you want to be an elf, you can be an elf fighter. Like I don't care. Like I know. Classic BX elves are kind of multi-class fighter wizards, and But like I'd be like, you know what? What if you weren't a thief? And like, what if you weren't like, what if thieves didn't exist? And what if like, okay, if you're a dwarf, you can be a dwarf, whatever. You can, if you were an elf, you can be a whatever, and we'll just pretend that like, you're an elf who doesn't use magic. Who cares? So like
Yeah, I mean that seems perfectly reasonable.
I basically started like like when I halfway through, or I guess a 1/12 of the way through my dungeon 23, I
you
realized
can be very
was
precise.
like, if looking at the dungeon I created, ultimately, if anyone were to use it, they would need to heavily kind of break it down to their own system that they were using. If they were using like OD&D or Basic or AD&D or Dungeon World or whatever, they would need to do heavily convert it in some ways. And then I was like, well, what if I just started making my own system, like as I like that comported
cool.
with my concept of like what I wanted this dungeon to be in the first place. And it was funny because like I started doing that and like and then I just was like making notes about it. I'm like, well, okay, I guess now I've got my own little like OSR, which is not familiar. That means old school romance or old school Renaissance. I don't know, old school Renaissance. And then like my dungeon, like my ultimately just became down to like a 2d6 system, where like
that's neat.
Like yeah, or even like a 1d6. Honestly, I could probably get down to 1d6, where you're just like rolling like one and 6 are successes, and then 2 through 5 are not.
Right.
God damn.
Woo! He's blessed your blade with the blessed his blade with your blood. This is bad news for us.
Oh, son of a bitch. Wow, he did more than a half my health in one strike. That's incredible.
Yeah, I think I think he doesn't get that unless he hits you with that lift up
he
dark
got that
thing.
and it buffs him up, which is cool.
Yeah, it's
like, that's
really neat.
So cool because he does the, it's whereas the pursuer curses you, right? Like he's
right.
Like,
it's something that happens to you.
Yeah, like the pursuer curses you with that, but he just like boom. He's like, no, I hit you. I got you with that sick hit. And now I'm going to do more damage because of it.
And now I've taken something from you.
Yeah. It's like getting a plus crit based on like a natural like D20. Which is like terrible. Like my whole brain is just like, I'm so tabletop pilled now because of like doing D23 that like.
Are you gonna sell your system? Are you gonna publish?
Like I might.
Or shall you perish?
Like if God damn it.
Sorry.
God. I was just thinking earlier about like what was I thinking about? I don't remember what it was.
I sure hope you weren't thinking about publish or perish.
No, it was something about how about academia and becoming the way academia like corrupts you and makes you violent. And I don't remember what it was about, but it was really funny, whatever it was. And it was that kind of that zone of academia makes you violent. In case you haven't noticed, dear listener, during the course of this, I had my initial Jamaica Me Happy,
Let's go.
and then I had a second one.
This is so great.
So I'm really, really, really tipsy now because I was super lightweight, and they're both only like 7% alcohol by volume. But I'm on all the drugs that make your blood pressure low.
We so support this.
Right?
Everyone supports
Me
this.
too. I have had a wonderful time, and I think that's where we're gonna call it. We're gonna call it because like right now, Derby's standing in front of this shit, and I really love how the eyes of the head of Vengarl are glowing. Like,
It's
look
so
at that shit.
cool.
It's so good.
It's empowering Vengarl.
It's so
we're
good.
becoming old bad Vengarl again.
We are.
He's
and,
back.
Like, next time, we're gonna crush this fucking DLC, and we're gonna be done with it.
Yep.
And then we're gonna go on to Ilium Lois, and you know what? I bet we'll crush that in like one night.
I bet
That's
so.
my goal. That's my goal, is to just crush Ilium Lois, and then we'll go on to Dark Souls 3, and that's gonna be so fucking wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna feel, I don't know, it's gonna feel crazy.
It's gonna feel so weird. Like leaving Dark Souls 2, because Dark Souls 2 feels such a particular way. Like this feels so PlayStation 3 era. Like even though we're playing it on the PC, we're playing it at 60 frames a second. You know, it's beautiful, it's high res, it's crisp, it's clean. You know, it still feels PlayStation 3.
Yeah. No, I see it. It has the kind of, and not even in a bad way. It
No.
that.
It's
Yeah,
advancing. It's just advancing on from Dark Souls 1, and Dark Souls 1 was, you know, like this is we still have, you know, we're still using the Vancian magic system where we have the Dungeons and Dragons, like, you know, we rest at the we do a full rest, and we get our memorized spell castings back. You know, like we're still doing that. We're still in a zone where, like, you know, like a bunch of these things are different, where we cannot wear a helmet if we wanted to. Like if I took my helmet off, we wouldn't have a penalty to our armor. We still have dual stancing, even though we're not using it right now.
Right.
Like there's a whole bunch here that is, you know, not going to be in the next game. Like we're gonna make a big break with the past.
Man.
Yeah, but for right now, we're in the past, and we're in this cool place where we're, you know, we're gonna fight a boss in like a mining interest that's also a kingdom that's also, like, you know, like there's so much going on here in this zone, in this DLC, that is truly astounding. And we're gonna fight Surlon. We're gonna fight the guy who created all the knights that we've been fighting since the original game. And when we finish that, then we're gonna go to a snow place, and there's a big kitty cat. We're gonna fight a big kitty cat in the snow.
Really?
Yeah, we're gonna fight a big kitty cat in the snow, Trevor. It's great.
Yay! I love that. I love that for us.
It's really funny because that is literally everything I remember about
the big kitty cat.
About
That's it.
The third and final DLC is there's a big snow kitty cat that we fight, and it kind of sucks because he's gonna kick our ass so hard.
Well, okay, yeah, that's 100% gonna happen, but it's gonna be a big kitty cat. It's gonna be cool.
Be a big kitty cat. It's gonna be so
I love
good.
it. I love that. It's gonna be fun.
The tragedy is that we won't be doing it last year because it's now the year of the bunny rabbit. It's not the year of the big kitty cat anymore.
It's all right. It's okay.
Yeah.
Did you see the thing where they had the rabbit and the kitty cat meet at a zoo, and the tiger tried to eat the rabbit?
No, that's real good.
He tried. He gave it his best shot.
Yeah, you know.
but they saved the rabbit.
I changed my Final Fantasy character to a rabbit. That was.
Oh really?
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I needed a change, and I was like, fuck it, bunny girl.
I keep thinking about that. Keep thinking about making a change. I'm not there yet. I like my big hulking Rogaiden. He's real goofy, and that's what he needs to be.
Yeah, I'm still not sure that I'm sold on it, but for now, I needed something different in Final Fantasy 14. So that's what I did.
Fair enough.
We'll see how much I stick with it. Having the character that looked too much like me, but was also like skinny and racked, was really doing a number on my body image.
Oh,
so like now at least it's like, well, this is some bunny bitch. So like it's not really like me. I'm not a rude bunny rabbit bitch.
Thanks for being kind to yourself, dude.
Yeah, that's the way you gotta do it. But like I couldn't deal with the Rogadins having no butt and like no hips. It was just like, no, you're weird and big, and like, but you've got this weird teeny little like lower body. I can't deal with that.
Yeah, no, that's what I look like. That's like it's really great. I look at it and I say, that's me. I'm in the world.
Can't deal with that.
Yeah, but, it's a horrible body type. No one should want it. There's a reason none of the clothes fit the Rogadins. It's immersive.
All right. So yeah, but so we're gonna fight this Surlon next week, and we're gonna win. We're gonna beat Surlon
we'll win
next week.
Maybe they'll even, you don't know. Maybe they'll even be a. There might even be some friends. You never know.
Maybe there'll be some real friends.
Not some fake friends.
No, not fake friends. Real friends.
Real
friends like Tyrone the Second.
Tyrone the Second is a real friend. He's not a fake friend.
Shout out to Tyrone the Second.
So important.
But yeah, until next time, remember everyone that you've got real friends in Majula, and we love you, we care about you, and we want you to do well.
That's right.
Yeah. Trevor, where can people find you?
People can find me at No Cartridge. That's my podcast, and at Hagelbun on Twitter, and when I get to it, on co-host.
Tell the people what you've been up to on your podcast, because you've been doing some OVAs.
I've been doing some OVAs. Yeah, I did.
Good.
It's fun. I'm talking with everyone's favorite Emily, Space Queen Emily is her @ and we talked about some great OVAs, including I think the one that would most appeal to people watching the stream would be Dragon's Heaven, which is very interesting. That is a wild OVA, considering about 10 minutes of it is like Tetsuo the Iron Man style, like I don't know, like claymation with metal, and then an anime that looks half like an anime and half like Inkal, or the Black Inkal by Mobius and Jodorowsky.
Yeah,
so it's wild.
It's so funny because I know I've watched that one, but I haven't. It's been 25 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not shocking. It's been a while.
A quarter of a century since I've watched Dragon Heaven. But like, I know you did you did Maris the Chojo.
Yeah, Maris the Chojo, which is extremely adorable. Nothing not to like about Maris the Chojo. And then also, I keep forgetting what it's called. But it was great, and I keep wanting to read the manga of it, but I don't know how to get it. It's it's fine.
Manga, you go to nya.si.
Nya.si.
Yeah.
Okay.
You go to Nyasi with your VPN up, and it's great. You get everything.
Rock out with my VPN out.
Yeah, rock out with your VPN out.
And I just Desert Rose was the thing.
Oh, Desert Rose, yeah.
Yeah, we just recorded a bunch of hours on the first 5 episodes of, which is the OVA and the first series episode of You're Under Arrest, which there was a lot to say. It's an exciting episode.
I didn't know you were going beyond the OVA, so that's really good.
Yeah, no, Emily, we weren't initially, and Emily was like, okay, listen, this is selfish, so if we can't do it, it's fine. But can we do number 5 because it absolutely feeds into my agenda? And
Yeah,
I was
you
like,
got it. You
yeah,
got it.
let's do it.
God, You're Under Arrest is it's such a formative, like, Ann America was like, that was my special treat when I was a kid, was just burning my entire allowance on Ann America.
Oh yeah,
Because it was such an expensive magazine.
such a good choice.
And You're Under Arrest was so prominently, just like constantly being discussed in Ann America, and it was great. It was great.
It rules.
I
So
am
good.
very excited about, it's funny because I was just the other day I was lamenting. I was like, man, someone needs to start a podcast that's just about OVAs. And then
Yeah, I was right
just
there
started
for
doing
you.
all these OVAs, and I was just like, yes, good.
Yeah, it was.
And I was like, now do Dragon Half. Now do Bubblegum Crisis. Now do Metal Skin Panic. And I was just like,
Oh, do not worry. I'm pretty sure all of those are in the tank. It's the same rules as No Wall Scroll always has been. I don't pick them, but I get to pick between like three choices. So we'll see what choices come up next.
you're gonna have to get me on one of those
I'm
at some
excited.
point. So I'm gonna have to pick
Yeah,
a
Absolutely.
favorite OVA of mine and be like, no, Trevor, we're doing this.
No, that's the other rule with always been the No Wall Scroll rule, is that like if there's a guest on, they can absolutely pick whatever they want. It's totally
we might have to do Vampire Princess Miu.
Ooh, I vaguely remember that.
Old school
I don't
Vampire
know if I ever
Princess
watched
Miu
it.
was so fun. Like between that and MD Geist were just like such fundamental.
Oh, MD Geist is so good.
I really love the number of people. I'm just like, no, go watch MD Geist. Go watch MD Geist. And then they watch MD Geist and they're like, Jesus Christ, this is so cool. And I'm like, yeah, it's garbage, but it's so good.
That's the thing. Like, it's garbage, but it's also like all of the scenes where it's like action and stuff. You're like, this rules.
Old
This is so
school
sweet.
OVAs are so good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Such a good time.
No, they're really amazing. Even when you're just like, oh, I wish we could have seen more of this. You're just like, but at least I saw a little.
Yeah. Even Riding Bean, which kind of sucks in terms of
Riding Bean
Gunsmith Cats,
absolutely sucks,
but
but
it's still great.
I still loved watching it.
Yeah.
I remember Andrew had the correct point on this. My other co-host, who is starting a degree, so sort of away from the podcast for a minute, but they were saying Riding Bean is like it's like Gunsmith Cats, except the misogyny is off the charts. they took the gloves off. It is extremely misogynistic.
It's so wild.
And not even in like a negative way. It's just that's what it is.
No,
it just is that.
Back when I was in illustration, I was gonna be an illustration major, and Kenichi Sonoda was he was the guy, and it was you're watching Riding Bean, and you're just like, this is so terrible, but I fucking love you, Kenichi Sonoda.
I love looking at all of these characters.
Yeah.
No, at least Gunsmith Cats came out of it.
And
Though, Gunsmith Cats.
terrible Rally in Riding
Oh my
Bean.
God, Rally and Riding Bean is such a crime.
It's so bad.
Absolutely.
It's the worst.
If you watch it in the order I watched it in as an adult, because I'm sure I watched some of it as a kid. I just forgot. But if you watch Gunsmith Cats and then Riding Bean, it's excellent because you get to see what a crime Riding Bean Rally is. It's so sad.
So bad.
Yeah, it's awful.
So look at Trevor's stuff, because Trevor's great. No cartridge
Oh,
fucking
thank you.
rules.
Oh.
Yeah, I wouldn't keep Trevor around if they sucked. Sorry.
Fair enough.
Sorry.
No, I mean
I'm that
you're
kind of person.
brutal. I know this. This is how I know it's
Trevor
it's going
didn't
well.
have my most full-throated endorsement, they wouldn't be around.
Yeah, no, I'd be done.
But No Cartridge
absolutely.
is so good, and you should go
Aw, thank you.
subscribe and listen. And we'll be back next week with more Dark Souls 2. Until then, you can find
Can't
me
wait.
as co-host. You can find me here. If you want to find me somewhere else, fine. God bless you. But YouTube and co-host and I guess Twitter are where I'm at, and it's Dealacina wherever you go. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Remember the name.
yeah. Until then, remember you've got friends in Majula, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Everyone. That was such a good episode. I was so
That was
excited
really
about
fun.
That was so
I
much
can't.
fun.
I can't believe we beat the Fume Night early enough to have like a really good time as well.
I know, and I'm so drunk, Trevor. Jesus Christ.
Go hydrate, Dia. You have to hydrate. You'll feel really upset in the morning if you
I've
don't.
been hydrating.
Oh, good.
I've been
Not,
hydrating, but I'm
not
so...
with Jamaica Me Crazies, hopefully.
That's hydration.
Oh no.
It's only 8%. That means it's 92% hydration.
Oh, no.
It's 92% hydration.
Well, I can't argue with that logic. It's true.